Today we're back in the boilie kitchen, and what we're going to do is we're going to show you just how easy it is to customise your own boilies so that you can improve them with just a little bit of extra effort in the kitchen to give you something that's hopefully even better when it comes to catching a few carp. So far all we've done is follow the same guidelines that you've seen previously. Okay, we've used the one-shot dedicated liquid additive. I've put 50ml of the Odyssey XXX in with some eggs, whisked them all together, and then slowly and steadily started adding the Odyssey XXX base mix. Okay, you go through the sort of thick soup, through to porridge, through to a lump of dough that you then start sticking to the fork and you need to get your hands in. Start kneading a little bit more base mix in with it, and at that point I've also put a little bit of slicker booster liquid on my hands just to stop it sticking to me. You just slowly and steadily knead more base mix in until you end up with a paste just like this one I've just made. Okay, you can tell it's right because you can poke your finger into it, it's like warm plasticine. Nothing sticks to your finger, the bowl is clean and your hands are clean. Pop it in a freezer bag and stop it drying out. Now you're ready to go. There are lots and lots of different ways to produce custom boilie mixes. So far we've just used Odyssey XXX dedicated additive and the base mix and eggs. So to all intents and purposes it's standard XXX, brilliant fish catcher. We don't necessarily need to add anything to it to make it a custom mix, and you can produce customised boilies just by looking at things like shape and texture and size. And actually, for the simplicity of it all, changing the shape is one of the best ways you can catch carp off guard. Now, the thing about dumbbells is that to produce one, what we need to do is we need to put a lower diameter rope of paste across the channels in the rolling table. Unlike rolling round boilies where you want it to fill the channel, you're going to need a lower diameter coming out your bait gun. So here I've chopped down one of the nozzles to around about 10mm. This is a 14mm table, okay? You can see the difference in size here. Okay, you want a lower diameter rope stretched across your table, that's what gives you the cylinder effect. All we're going to do is we're going to gun out a few ropes of paste. I've always found it's easier when making dumbbells to make your paste just a fraction stiffer than you might ordinarily for round boilies. Otherwise you squash the ends a little bit more. Again, from our boilie making, if you remember, simple trick is you make your ropes the same length as the top of the rolling table, which is square. That means you're going to fill all the channels when you're rolling, and that just means it's the most efficient that it can be. Not bad for a guess those three, were they? Alright, again like boilies I'll try and do one at a time. All we're going to do is we're going to put our lower diameter rope across the table, nice firm forward motion, and then you have some little barrels. Okay. Because you don't need to be quite so picky about the size of the nozzle as you do with round boilies, you can also produce them an awful lot quicker than round baits. Okay, so we've made some dumbbells on a little Gardner rolling table, and these are give or take 10mm by 14mm. You can use any of the Gardner tables, so that can be any width that you like, and you just keep the sausage a lower diameter than the channels in the table. Here's an even quicker way to make dumbbells. Alright, all we're going to do is we are just going to extrude straight out the gun, and we're just going to leave ropes of Odyssey XXX paste exactly as they come out. The reason is very, very simple. Up to a point, because they're probably going to go in spod mix, they're going to go in PVA bags, it doesn't matter how regular they are. They don't need to be round, obviously. All we're going to do is we're going to boil ropes exactly like that. We're going to stick them in the pan, okay? Reason being that we just take a step out, boil them as they are, and then we're going to chop them up when they've been boiled, and that also leaves you with the ends of each dumbbell, rather than being sealed by the boiling process, it also leaves them open if you like, and that allows your attractors to leak out even quicker. A further benefit is that you can make these any length that you like. Post boiling, I would normally boil them before we do this, but if you made them long and thin, very long and thin, To me, that is an absolutely brilliant hook bait for a difficult carp. In fact, it's one of the best I've ever found. Long and thin, they have an enormous difficulty with. Don't know why, but I've spent so long sticking two of these together on the hair that I've made on the table that what I arrived at in the end is, well, why bother? Why not just make them all that long to start with? And the quickest way is just gun out your paste, boil the ropes as they are, and then chop them afterwards. Now let's go and do the boilie. Okay, boiling time, exactly the same rules apply as making any other boilies, irrespective of the shape. So these little fellas are dumbbells because it was quite a tough paste. Just roll them straight into water that's nicely rolling over on a boil. Because you need to remember they're only sort of 10 mil thick, so they don't need anywhere near as long as the 14 or 16 or 18 mil boilies. So I've given them 1 minute on a nice rolling boil, just timed on a mobile. Pop them out with a draining spoon when they're done. Roll them around on a clean tea towel or a fishing towel, and just make sure that every couple of minutes you turn them just so they dry evenly all the way around. We followed them in with the big ropes, and as you can see, they're just dead easy. You just stick them straight in the pan, they stay straight. Beauty of it is when they come out and they're starting to dry, you can then chop them whatever size you want, which gives you some presentation options. I actually quite like sort of double length, if you like, compared with a standard dumbbell. So you've got something there that's sort of, I would have thought, inch and a half in old money. Absolutely brilliant hook bait, something a little bit different and really quick to make as well.